Hello friends, welcome to my channel Talk to Excel. Myself Nitin Gupta, and here we are in the third video of my series of four videos for the basic Visual Basic. So when we use the word cell positioning, okay, uh, in Visual Basic Code in Excel, what we are actually talking about, the positioning will enable you to control and move the selected cell around the desired locations wherever you want. And this is really important when you are trying to manipulate the data in Excel, and that's what the Visual Basic allows us to do. To change the cell positioning. And in this video, we learn about those things. So, uh, make sure you have been gone through the all first two videos and you have learned the basics of creating button and changing the cell values, right? It's really giving a good foundation to you when you are starting this Visual Basic. So what I have just designed, it's simple. I'm changing the cell value. This is the my middle of the given cells, and this I want to change my cell. I want to change the cell positioning to the upside, to the downside, to the right, to the left, and I'm also highlighting these cells with the yellow color, right? Or I can say yes. So, what we'll do, we first create the button. So, so I'm clicking on the developer tab and inserting the button. So I need to create four buttons, right? So yes, so I'm just creating the button one. I'm not assigning anything, and I'm giving this name is uh, mm, I can say if it's going to upside, right? Upside. Uh, yeah. And another again, I will copy and paste it. Simple, and I'm copying four times. And I'm just aligning my all buttons in sequence, right? So this is upside, which is I'm creating the downside, and this would be the right side, and this would be the right. So right click, edit text, downside. Simply I just click it, which is right side. Simply I'm clicking it, and left side. So this the buttons I have created now. So now it's a coding time. So let's go to the Visual Basic, and that's the developer tab, and we click on the Visual Basic icon, and here we see the previous modules, right? So we'll create insert another module, and this is the third module, and we'll add the next subroutine, right? So I'm just clicking, writing the sub, and I'm creating for the up side, right? So in we got the module, and what we'll do, we use the offset, right? So So I'm going to have creating the four subroutines to do this positioning fulfill, according to the given data. So we were talking about the moving upside, one routine to moving upside, and one routine to moving downside, and one to the left side, and one to the right side. So we do this using the function in VBA and through the command, and which is the function name is offset. Now, you may be familiar with the offset formula, and Excel's like using the word offset for moving away from a certain point. That's all offset is going to do. So it will start a certain point, the active cell, and will move away somewhere else. So let's start with the move, no, upside to certain point. So let's see. So okay. So this is the okay. So yeah. So this is the my selection. Selection is the middle. Now I want to make it upside. My selection must go to upside, right? The selection goes to upside and it's highlighted, right? So what we'll do, I will do the selection dot offset, right? Offset, uh, bracket open. So in offset, basically, I need two numbers of Excel or it will ask two numbers for the first number relates to the number of rows to move up or down, and you know uh, the second number relates to the left or right. Okay, so the upside relate it shows the negative number, so we can represent the negative number to move upside, and we represent the positive number to move downside. Similarly, for the right side is the positive number to move right side, and the negative number to the left side. Yeah, it's important to remember that's right. So if I try to something like this, the selection, clearly I'm going to remember all these things, to do, to play with the Excel VBA. So I'm just trying to move up. So this is the first number which representing the, so -1. This is the second, 0. So we are not changing the, columns, right? We are only changing the rows. We're not changing the column. Okay. The first number, this is representing the rows, and this one representing the column, and negative number is representing the upside, and 0 is the same. We are not changing the column, right? Dot select. We have selected now, and now I want to change the color of the active cell, that selected cell. So active cell dot interior, because I want to change the interior of the cell, right? Very simple to remember. Interior. I want to change the interior of a cell, right? So just interior again. We use to dot, and just like change color. That's like simple color and is equal to, and I want to write VB because I'm using the Visual Basic color of uh, color name to highlight the cell value. Uh, Instead of this given VB, the color name, we can use the RGB codes also. But yeah, I know it's very difficult to remember the RGB code. 255 comma 25, the three digits numbers. You know, sometimes it's very difficult to remember all those colors. So simply I will write VB yellow, and yeah, now it will work. Okay, so simple. In previous video I also said, just in the base formula in the Visual Basic is you have to copy and paste and put the code somewhere. So I'm starting making the another uh code, copying pasting three times. So I'm just going to making for its downside, and for downside it must go to the positive area, right? As I told you. So it should be the positive, my rows should be positive to go downside, and now the right side. So if for right side, now my rows must be 0, right? Correct. And it should be uh, +1 for the right side, right? And for the left side, my I'm changing the column here and keeping my row static. So I will change the -1 to go left side. Now my the code is ready to move play with the offsets, cell positioning. I'm just saving it, closing the code, and now I'm making it, right? So I'm assigning the macro. If I click on the right, it will show the list of macros. So clicking on the upside, and now I'm assigning macro to downside. Now assigning macros to left side, and again I'm assigning macro to right side. Will work. So if my selection, I will select this highlight middle part, and I will click on the upside. It's C. You can highlighting the cell. Yeah, it's working fine. Wow, excellent. Superb. So I'm just clicking on downside, 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 downside. Yeah, superb. I will click again. So I can go with the my selection is the middle, right? So I want to change, go to the right side, right side, right side. Right. Through this, we can do the lots of coding, lots of the commands, lots of different kind of asterisk codes you may know. I know if you search in the Google, you'll find to make a star or something. So we can make it through these things, right? So let's just quickly revise the things, and we are going back on the Visual Basic editor, and we can see the first numbers relate to the vertical movement, and yeah, which show the row, how we are moving upside, and we can see the moving the downside, right? And the second number refers to the horizontal or the column movement. So how many columns to move on the positive number, we move to the right. And if you make it positive, it's moved to the right. And if make negative, it's moved to the left. Right. So that's the offset command, and it's one of the really very, very important Visual Basic command. So now you have learned the very important Visual Basic command, and that's the basic of the positioning. I can imagine you are thinking, well, but yeah, I would never want to do lots of uh, things with uh, simple things. I usually make some different. I always try to make something different, right? So you can also try something different with the offsets on your spreadsheet, and let me know in the control how you're controlling the offset with your new ideas or new programming in the comment section. So you can manipulate the data and do lots of time consuming task to reduce it, and then it will work very quickly. And just consider the building block, and this will build uh, many things, right? Your basics. So further down to the line, your Excel learning things. We are going to learn some of the loop in the next video, or next fourth video, I can say, of the Visual Basic, right? Yeah. So we learn the loop and some of the new things a little bit, the highlight of my next videos, right? So let's see. Uh, Thank you all for giving your attention and learning. So please do practice and give your questions, give your doubts in comment section, and like, share, and subscribe, and click on bell icon to get the notifications of my further videos. Thank you, everyone.